Hello and welcome to GCS Today here on Channel 21, the program that brings you news and information from Gaston County Schools. I'm Todd Hagans. On today's episode, we talk with Tyler West of Pinewood Elementary School, who is our Gaston County Principal of the Year. We also talk with Bridget Best of Pleasant Ridge Elementary School, who is our Gaston County Assistant Principal of the Year. Joining me on GCS today is Tyler West. She is the principal at Pinewood Elementary School, and she also is the Gaston County Principal of the Year. Tyler, thank you for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, to be the Principal of the Year, what does that mean to you?
It's a huge honor. To me, it means that I'm representing an incredible group of people. It was very rewarding to be nominated by my colleagues and a surprise when I won. But because I love my job so much and I take such pride in it, to me, it's just nice to know that it's recognized and that I get to represent this wonderful group of people.
So what is your education story? I understand that you are homegrown in Gaston County Schools. So what is it like to have been a student in the district and now you're a leader in the school district?
Definitely homegrown. I have educators at Robinson Elementary, Greer Junior High, and Ashbrook High School to thank for the person that I am today. One of my teachers was actually my father. He taught AP biology at Ashbrook. So I grew up in a household where public education was respected and is a noble profession. So it's wonderful for me to be able to follow in his footsteps and give back to the next generation of Gaston County students.
Did you always want to be a principal? I know that some people sometimes say, I've always wanted to be a teacher, but did you know that you would end up being a principal?
I did not. In fact, I ignored the education calling for just a little bit. I probably should have known that I would always be a teacher, but going into my freshman year at Chapel Hill in 2001, I was going to be an accountant. And then September 11th happened and really changed the trajectory of my life. I decided if I'm going to impact the world and make it a better place, I needed to be in the classroom. So I did 7 years in the classroom and then just felt the calling to go into leadership. I've always enjoyed leadership, from student body president and swim team coach. Just it was something that is always something that motivates me. So that's why I went into school administration and have worked with some wonderful people at school level and central office level who've really developed a confidence and a passion for leadership in me.
So as a principal, you have a tough job and you often deal with positives, but you also deal with negatives. So how do you overcome the difficulties and how do you turn the difficulties that you face as a principal, how do you turn them into positives?
I definitely think the job is hard because we wear so many hats, from facilities to human resources to academics. There's so many things that need to get done and that you need to be able to do well. So there's a quote that I love, and it talks about how leadership is not just hard work, it's habitual work. It's in how you approach your job. It's in the daily workings of what you do. And so that's what I remind myself. My goal is always to be consistent and compassionate, to show up every day and to do my very best. So even though it's hard, the students, the families, the teachers here, they deserve my best. And that's how I turn what's hard into positive.
And as a principal, you've had challenges related to the pandemic added to your plate, I guess you could say.
Yes.
And I know that as a principal, you want, regardless of the things that you deal with in your building and in the community and with the pandemic and many other things, I know that you want the focus to stay and to be on learning.
Yes, definitely.
So let's talk about Pinewood. Your school received a special distinction, a statewide distinction, in that Pinewood is a North Carolina A+ school. So what is an A-plus school and what does this mean for your school?
An A-plus school is one that focuses on arts integration, arts appreciation, and arts exposure for our students. We went through a year-long process to apply for this and had our first round of professional development delayed by 1 year due to the pandemic. So this past summer, we did a virtual 5-day institute. Our teachers learned all about arts integration and how to meet students where they are and bring movement and arts into the classroom. And we'll do 3 years of professional development with continued support from them to basically transform the way that learning happens here at Pinewood. We're really excited because we focus on multiple intelligences. So we have students who learn, who are nature smart or who are art smart, logic smart, who use their bodies and like to move kinesthetically. And so we have learned already how to design lessons and to integrate subjects so that students of all different varying learning types and multiple intelligences thrive at school.
And we like to say the A+, it stands for Arts Plus, the addition of the arts across the curriculum in all subject areas.
Yes, correct.
And Pinewood is a North Carolina A+ school, but we also have Rankin Elementary School as an A+ school. And then W.A. Best Elementary School was our first A+ school. So now we have 3 North Carolina A+ schools in Gaston County with a focus on the infusion or the addition of the arts across the curriculum.
It's really great to have 3 schools in our county doing it because our teachers can collaborate with each other. So 3rd grade teachers at all 3 schools can share lessons and how they're integrating the arts into fractions or part of their curriculum. And we even plan to do some professional development together once we're able to do that.
Okay, I want to mention, it doesn't happen often. It has happened before, but it doesn't happen often when the same school has the teacher of the year and also the principal of the year. And that happened this year for Pinewood Elementary School. So what do you think it says about your school to have both the teacher of the year and the principal of the year?
I mean, I like to think we're just 2 of the awesome educators that are here. People ask, is there something in the water? And maybe there is. It's an awesome place with awesome people. And we did our fair share of celebrating. We have been really excited that it's maybe the year of the porcupine, but it's also just back to business as usual too. So now we're in school 5 days a week and our students are learning and our teachers are having fun. And so business as usual, honestly.
So let's talk about your role as the principal. You have to inspire success among your staff and your teachers and your students. How do you do that? What words of encouragement do you have for your school family at Pinewood?
I think for me, it's all about unity and teamwork and collaboration. The past 18 months have definitely thrown us our fair share of hardships, and educators everywhere need more thank yous and more encouragement and more smiles probably than ever. The whole world does, honestly. So I just try to live that out in my leadership and in my daily interactions with my teachers. But honestly, I think that good leadership is good leadership, whether you're in a pandemic or whether you're not. So I try to always communicate and be organized so that our staff feels comfortable with what's coming. I try to have shared decision making anytime that I can do that, and then to support them and believe in them as professionals and get to know them individually. So that's really how I inspire success here.
Tyler West is the principal at Pinewood Elementary School, and she also is the current Gaston County Principal of the Year. Tyler, we want to congratulate you once again on receiving this honor. It's well-deserved, and we appreciate all that you do at Pinewood and to be a leader for Gaston County Schools. We really do appreciate it, and we thank you for being with us here today on GCS Today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. Stay with us. We will be right back.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look! Joining me on GCS Today is Bridget Best. She is the assistant principal at Pleasant Ridge Elementary School, and she also is the current Gaston County Assistant Principal of the Year. Bridget, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm still honored and humbled to be called the GCS Assistant Principal of the Year. So I'm excited about it, and thank you.
Okay, so we had the announcement at Caramont Health Park, home of the Gastonia Honey Hunters. And I think it was a surprise to hear your name called as the winner. What was that moment like for you?
Immediately, I remember the moment. My eyes dropped, my head dropped, and I couldn't believe it. I was speechless. I was absolutely speechless, but excited all at the same time. I can't tell you that it was a special sauce or anything special that I did. I just love what I do, and I was just very just amazed that others saw that come through.
Well, it is a well-deserved honor, so congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's talk about Pleasant Ridge Elementary School.
Okay.
Pleasant Ridge is home to the Gaston County Schools Gifted and Talented Academy for elementary students. So there's a lot going on at Pleasant Ridge. Tell us about Pleasant Ridge Elementary, and what is it that you love the most about your school?
Absolutely. So yes, we are the home of the Gifted and Talented Academy for our K-5 students. And so I'm excited because one of the great things that we get to do here, and I'm excited about doing this year, is our SIM clusters, where our students are able to work in different areas. They're exposed to so many different things, and they get to even have a showcase at the end of that time of exposure. So I'm excited about that. That's one thing that we offer with our Gifted and Talented Academy that really, I think, sets us a little bit above. And so I'm excited about that. One thing that I love about Pleasant Ridge is our community. We have a family here at Pleasant Ridge. And that's something that just makes all the difference, especially in times where we have experienced challenges the most. You need a strong backing. You need a strong family. And it doesn't matter if you are a student or if you are a teacher or what your position is here. We all collectively make a family. And that is what I love the most about Pleasant Ridge. We keep each other going.
And you have so much going on at the school. First, you have a beautiful facility.
Thank
and
you.
With the enrichment programs, the engagement, the student engagement, I know that you have a beta club for elementary school.
Yes.
You have a band program that you have so much that provides engagement and enrichment opportunities for students.
Yes, and here's one of the great things that I've discovered. Our students are always exploring. They're always inquisitive about things. They're always wanting to know. And so every opportunity that we can use to expose them to new things and to have that hands-on experience, it just goes into the other areas of their lives. So we're excited about that. That as an elementary school, we have so many things to offer our students. We have a drum line, we have a band, we have all of these things things that most of our students, would not get to see until they're in middle school or high school. And so to be able to see a student on a clarinet and playing that song, or to see them on the drum set and holding that drum and doing their rhythms, it is it's amazing. It's amazing. And the faces, just the faces and the expressions that our students make, to be able to do those things, it's amazing.
So let's talk about your role as an assistant principal.
Yes.
And how your role as the assistant principal, how that contributes to the success of your school.
Absolutely. So as an assistant principal, of course, we have our principal who is the face of the school and always is working and moving like everybody else. But that assistant principal is really one of the ones who really works into doing the operations of the school. So a lot of times the buses and the cars and how we move about the school, that is the work of the assistant principal. How we look at instruction, that is, that instructional leader, that is the role of that assistant principal. So what I will say is, while we have a huge role, to be an assistant principal means nothing if you don't have phenomenal teachers and phenomenal students and all of us coming together. And that's really what it's about. It's not really about one person. It's not really about one role. It's when we can all come together with what we have and build that beautiful picture together to make sure that our students are successful.
So as a school leader, how have you handled the stress and the challenges that have come along with the pandemic? I know it has been a challenging time for our schools.
It has definitely been a challenging time. And I think as a leader, we've had to come to understand the importance, more so now than before, of self-care. Self-care is important. We have to take care of ourselves, but also while we are leaders, once we go home, we have families, we have people who we all are sharing, no matter where we are, we're all sharing the same experiences. And so I think it is important for us to extend grace, extend a little love, care, and compassion for others, just to let people know that we're in this together. This is teamwork. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. We are in this together, and we will face the challenges, but we're going to face them head on together. We're not going to let you fall. We're going to support you at every angle and every possibility that we can, so we can get through this.
So let's talk about your journey in education.
Yes.
Who or what inspired your decision to become an educator?
I have a very interesting journey in education. So believe it or not, when I went to college, I went to Virginia State University. And so when I went to college, I did not start as an education major. I'd always loved working with kids as a middle schooler and a teenager, but I did not go into education. And so I was in a hospitality management program and was there for one semester and said, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I transitioned into the education program there, and it changed my life. And Todd, I would like to tell you that it wasn't necessarily the easiest transition, but I think the lessons that I learned as a college student working in that education program, those were things that were instilled in me that allowed me to never forget what I had to deal with and how I can use that to impact students who may feel like they don't have it or may not have the confidence to be able to do what as teachers or educators we're asking them to do, or now in a leadership role that teachers, may find challenging, and we have to be that cheerleader. And so I remember as a youngster, teaching I can't say I taught teddy bears and Barbie dolls, but I did do some teaching. I taught individual or invisible students rather. And I had a band teacher we were talking about how we offer the band program here, but I had a band teacher in middle school, and she really opened my eyes to my love for music, but also my love for teaching others. It was the way that she cared about us. It was the way that she taught us some of the most, what we thought at the time were very complex. She taught it in a way that it just seemed so simple. And I think that's when I began even more to really think about working with students and being a teacher. And so she was the most influential person. And to this day, I still talk to her. And I'm just excited about being able to impact students on every level.
So what advice would you give to a teacher who may be thinking about, I might like to become a school administrator? What would you say to that teacher to encourage him or her to take that next step?
I would say a couple of things. So while you're a teacher, expose yourself to as many leadership opportunities as you can. I think that practice, even in a teacher position, there's so many things. We would not be able, as administrators, we would not be able to do this work without our teachers at all. And so often, and one of the things that we want to build on are teacher leaders. And so get into those opportunities where you can help lead as a teacher. See how you like it. How does it feel to you? Do you think that's something that you could do on a greater level? And I would say start there. Also, just, do you love people? And I think that that's important as well, to love people, to love children at all costs, because you're right, especially with this year, in our year past, we've dealt with some challenges, and it takes that love and it takes that passion that you have for people and our students to continue to go. So I would say just delve into those leadership experiences and talk to your principal, talk to your leaders, and see what they have to offer you to take that step. And don't be scared. There's never really the perfect time to say, I'm going to do it now. Take the step, be bold. If that's something that you really want to do, now is the right time to do that. So take that step and just hit it head on, and know that you can be successful just having people close to you that can support you.
Great advice from our Gaston County Assistant Principal of the Year, Bridget Best from Pleasant Ridge Elementary School. Bridget, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
And we thank you for taking time to be with us here today on GCS Today.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching GCS Today here on Channel 21. Before we go, we would like to remind you to visit the Gaston County Schools website to read news articles about our schools, our students, and our teachers. And we encourage you to download the Gaston County Schools mobile app to your device. It's free in the Apple and Google online stores, and it is your one-stop source for news and information about our schools. Also, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch us on YouTube, and right here on Channel 21. Stay tuned to Channel 21 for the latest news and information from Gaston County Schools. For GCS Today, I'm Todd Higgins. We look forward to seeing you next time.